It's Madden NFL 22, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Steelers and the 49ers, and it comes your way next.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. The man who was a prep All-American in nearby Antioch, it's Najee Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 12 carries, 69 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Winston. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. This is Harris on the draw. Uses the stiff arm. Still going. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Anyone who watched Najee Harris at Alabama knows the kind of strength that this guy runs with, and he's continuing on that path here at the next level.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan. all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Out to his left. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for the Niners.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Lance now on 1st down. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for only a couple. On 2nd down, it's Patterson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Cordero Patterson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Come on, let's go.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Steps away to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Winston. incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a third down coming up. Jameis to throw it. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Now Joey Slye for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative? He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Faking the give to Mostert. Now Lance. This is caught. Touchdown. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And we are tied here in the second quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, the good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that time and change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. Extra point by Slye is up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now it's Patterson. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Lance. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start the drive with Harris. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They hand this off to Harris. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 70 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchdown. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw, it's Lance. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Dave's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Running on 1st down is Mostert, but he can only manage a yard, and that's about it before he's tackled.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Working out of the gun, Winston. Back to Smith-Schuster, this time complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Winston. Quickly into the hands of Beckham. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Winston now from the 50. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Running with defense.
Man, that ain't make no sense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
A 1st down throw for Winston. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. Slide for the PAT. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. No return here for Patterson, so they'll begin things at the 25-yard line. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learned that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, it almost doesn't matter. And right now he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
He's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive. 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Taking a shot for Samuel. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel as the first half is winding down. And the 49ers have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. They run with Patterson. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
And Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. 7 yards to pick up there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He'll swing this out to Mostert. Touchdown 49ers. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here. Third quarter, we'll see what else he has in store for us. Winston's throw complete there to Beckham. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. Right back to Claypool, this time complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Down right around the 25.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Winston on 4th down. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. Off of play action, here's Lance. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit.
And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. 23. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Now a first down throw complete downfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Lance now on first down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lance, touchdown! Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous.
Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. From the gun, Winston. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. A tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Not much there, only a yard.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down. Winston, rush coming, and he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, trade him over to our team so we don't offer him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10.
Now Lance.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Be ready, be ready. Slam, slam, slam. Check safety.
Here's Mostert. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
2nd and 2. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Here's Mostert.
And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing connect on the extra point. They will take a 7-point lead.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases.
Pass complete to Ebron.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the fourth quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you